Hello grade 6, we're looking at division. Now in the past you would have done remainders. Something, remainder, whatever. Something left over, not enough to make a whole. In this case, I'm just going to go through a couple of these. This one will have a remainder, but we're going to go into decimal place value instead of remainders. This one will be a whole number, but I'll just show you a possible mistake that some people may make. This one here is 44.4 or 44 and 4/10 divided by 6. So this one looks like we're going to have a decimal point in there. If I come back to this one, best suggestion is to use your multiplication skills to estimate what the possible answer could be. So if you know your 5 times table, 5 times 10 would be 50. It's too big. So 10 is not going to be the answer. It's going to be smaller than 10. 5 times 5 is 25. It's too low. 5 times 8 is 40. It's under 43, so that's a pretty good rough estimate. And 5 times 9 is 45. So 9's too big. We know it's going to be 8, but 8 point what? So what we'll do, we'll look at this. And I'm just going to show you the short division. You should know the long division by now. Can 5 fit into 4, which is really in the tens place, it's 40. 5 cannot fit into 4, so I just bring this next digit alongside. So it's now saying 43. How many times can 5 fit into 43 without going over it? Yes, it's not going to be a perfect number. It's going to not quite fit. So 5 can fit into 43, we know 8 times. 8 times 5 is 40. With long division, you put it underneath and you minus. We should be able to do this in our minds by now. 43 minus 40, which is 8 times 5, would leave 3. And you'd normally have remainder 3. But we're not going to do that. We're going to put a decimal point now. Okay, so at the moment, we've got 3 left over. 3 left over. Can 5 fit into 3? No, because that's why there's a bit left over. We put a 0 on the end, like a placeholder, to help us do this division. We think, how many times can 5 fit into 30? But it's not really 30, is it? It's actually 3/10. Or this one is 30/100. So, how many times can 5 fit into that? 5 times table, it would be 6. 6 times 5 is 30, nothing left over. So my answer would be 8.6 or 8 6/10. Okay, so along to this one. Estimate first. It's just a little bit more than 300, so 3 times 100 would be 300. So you know this is going to be 100 and something. Just show you what I've seen some people do. It's an easy mistake to make. So in this one here, how many times can 3 fit into 3? I'm just doing it one time, one place holder at a time. So this place value is in the hundreds, tens, 1. So 3 can fit into 3, 1 time. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3 leaves 0. Short division, remember? So then I think 3 can fit into 0, can't go. So then I think some people just go, can 3 fit into 9? And they say, well, 3 times 3 is 9, so it must be 13. 3 times 3 is 9, 9 minus 9 leaves 0. That can't be right. So we know it's going to be around about 100. So what did we do wrong there? Can you see what Mr. Blair did wrong? If we come back a step, 1 times 3 is 3. 3 minus 3, and I'll just do the long division so you can see this. 1 times 3 is 3, minus leaves 0. Okay. Normally you bring this one down. Can 3 fit into 0? No. So you actually have to put a 0 there. Now I'll bring the 9 down. Can 3 fit into 9? Yes. 3 times. 3 times 3 is 9. There's nothing left over. So there'll be no remainder or no decimal point. So 103 is your answer. It's not 13. Just be careful of these zeros in there. If I come across to this one, I have 44.4 divided by 6. Or some people say, how many times can 6 fit into 44.4? Again, I would do the short division, but I'll show you the long division. Can 6 fit into 4? No. Nothing wrong with putting a 0 up here if you want. You can leave it there, you can rub it out later. I then have these 2 digits here. Can 6 fit into 44? This is where your 6 times table comes in handy. 6 times 10, 60 is too big. 6 times 5, 30. Close, but not close enough. 6 times 7, 42. Close, it's not over it, so I reckon that's pretty good. 6 times 8, what is it? 48. So 8's too big, must be 7. 7 times 6 is 42. I minus, that leaves 2. Okay, now I've got a decimal point here. So I'm going to put that straight up here, straight above it. If I didn't, I'm going to have a totally wrong answer. So the next step is, I've got 2 left over here. I bring this 4 down, because obviously that's left over. 6 can't fit into 2, 24. Can 6 fit into 24? Can do. How many times? 4. 4 times 6 is 24. There's nothing left over. So my answer, again, I can just rub this on out, and I keep them all in their place, right in line with each other. That way, the only mistake you could do probably is if you can't calculate correctly. So I've got them all set up, and that's pretty much right. Simple, really, isn't it? If you know your multiplication and your division, this stuff is easy. Good luck to you and your family.